Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Rants About Tech Live for this Wednesday. Happy Hump Day, October 29th. I'm your host, Rod, here in cloudy Philadelphia today. Here with some of my good friends in the chat. I thank you guys for being here. Let's get the air horns going for you guys real quick. This is the Daily Tech News Show where we talk about today's tech news, we talk about eInk news, we talk about just random stuff as well. We talk about collared shirts here since I'm wearing one. We're gonna add that to the discussion. Like I said, thank you guys for being here. We got a few things to talk about today. We got Node Air 5C reviews that are in from a couple of our favorite YouTubers. We're gonna check that out and talk about what we think about those. We're gonna talk about OpenAI's restructuring. Non-for-profit, for-profit, they've always been for profit, okay? It hasn't changed for me. But before we do all of that, I think I need to do something real quick. And I hope this is the live chat. I'm hoping this is the live chat. We're gonna try to pop this live chat into here real quick for you guys before we get the show started. Oh wow, we did it. We're also gonna skip to this holidays because I totally forgot to add to the show, but the show must go on. Let's get to the randos. Actually, let's get to the chat before we do anything substantial in here. Who we got in here right now? We got Mr. Mike in here, super active. Thanks for being here, Mr. Mike. On Wednesdays we wear pink. There we go. Did I wear pink last Wednesday too? It could have been. I could have had my pink polo. I got the pink button up today. You know, sometimes got the little pink on. Real men wear pink. Yeah, I think the names thing has been rectified. If I'm not mistaken here, I think our names are back to normal. If I'm wrong about that, you guys let me know. I know the names were weird for a little bit back there, but we'll see. First off, before we get started, I want to give a shout out to and say my heart goes out to the folks dealing with Hurricane Melissa in Jamaica. A lot of damage done in Jamaica, so heart goes out to those guys. I hope everyone's loved ones are okay if you have family members or loved ones there. Also, shout out to and heart goes out to the people in Cuba who are having to deal with what's left over of that particular hurricane. A lot weaker than what it was when it landed in Jamaica, but still a hurricane nonetheless, still substantial. And I hope everyone is all right in those two areas. All right, what else we got? Let's go on to the tech news, shall we? I got a transition. Want to hear it? Here it go. I'll fix that. We're going to get that transition fixed. It's going to get to the point to where it's transition, but you can still see me. It's not there yet. We'll get there. Tech news, though. Let's hit it up real quick. What do we got here for tech news to start off with? Firstly, we got we don't have that news. I gotta restructure my stuff here. Adobe. Let's see what Adobe's got going on here. So Adobe has or is launching a set of tools. This information is still coming out, but Adobe is launching new AI tools to go with their Creative Cloud suite of tools. If you're a video editor or if you're a picture editor, web designer, any kind of that digital creative space stuff, you probably rely on Adobe tools to some extent, in some way, shape, or form. So we're going to talk about a couple of the new tools they got going on. So Adobe has kicked off its annual Max Design Conference, where it will be giving us a first glimpse at the latest updates coming to its Creative Cloud apps. It's happened, so we're going to talk about a couple of those things, including Firefly AI models. The creative software giant is launching new generative AI tools that make digital voiceover and custom soundtracks for videos. I talk about that a lot in here. We talked about another generative AI tool that creates music. I think it was a Gemini tool we talked about earlier this week. Through any event, I'm happy to see these tools are coming. They're proliferating to all the platforms, and I like that. What else we got here? You can add AI assistants to Express and Photoshop for web that edit entire projects using descriptive prompts. So you can give it natural language prompts, and it'll do a lot of the editing in these pieces of software for you, whether it's picture or video or audio or all three. I thought it was very interesting. So let's take a look at some of the things that they talked about. So Photoshop and Premiere Pro, new AI tools can instantly edit more of your work. So we're talking about instantly editing your Photoshop workflow. Adobe new AI tools can now add soundtracks and voiceovers to videos, so that's going to be great. Soundtrack voiceovers. You can tell Adobe Express new AI assistant to edit your designs for you. This isn't stuff that other AI tools can't do, right? It's just putting those tools in a piece of software that you already use and that you have other tools available to you to kind of modify and otherwise edit those yourself. Adobe wants to make editing YouTube shorts easier, so they're editing or making shorts specific software and AI tools to help you create shorts. Adobe AI social media admin is here with Project Moonlight. I didn't get a chance to dive too deep in what Project Moonlight was, but I'm going to take a look at that when I look at all the other news that's coming out of this particular event that they had and they launched. But super interesting to anyone who's creating digital content on the web. I still see account names, says Master Mike. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's awful. And the hurricane is moving so slowly, it's relentless. Yeah. It loses steam, picks up steam, loses steam, picks up steam. It's weird. But I hope everyone's all right. What else we got here? Next, we got OpenAI completes. Whoa, let's get rid of that. OpenAI completes restructure, solidifying Microsoft as major shareholder. So, OpenAI, if you don't know, is a nonprofit organization until now. They've done the restructuring. They've restructured into a whole bunch of other things. So let's go ahead and just get into the details here. OpenAI on Tuesday announced it has completed its recapitalization, cementing its structure as a nonprofit with a controlling stake in its for-profit business. So still nonprofit, but they have a for-profit division. The artificial intelligence startup said its nonprofit is now called OpenAI Foundation, and it holds an equity stake worth about $130 billion in its for-profit arm. OpenAI says its for-profit arm is now public benefit corporation is now called OpenAI Group PBC. So still OpenAI, but we got to add the group PBC on the end. Under the new structure, the OpenAI Foundation will hold 26% stake in the for-profit, with 47% held by current and former employees and investors. One of those investors being Microsoft, who is holding 27% now, which is a slide down from what they which is a slide down for what they were getting before this restructuring, which was I think 32%. So they're getting about a 5% decrease in what their cut in the profits. But they're probably supplementing that somewhere else in this whole restructuring. So Microsoft's going to get their money, but I thought that was super interesting that they are taking a less cut of the profit, probably for other reasons, investment reasons probably. What else we got here? I posted on Discord, but Remarkable changed their 100-day return policy to 50 days. Just edited their old post pages. No new posts announcing the change. Dislike. Whoa. Wow. Super interesting news. We'll talk about that when we get to the eInk news too. That's super interesting. Thanks for that, Mitchell. Next thing we got up on the tech front is Amazon to cut about 14,000 corporate jobs in AI push. Regardless if you believe these job cuts are due to AI or not, they are definitely happening. So we got Amazon to cut 14,000 jobs amid AI adoption. Layoffs affect multiple divisions, including AWS and Prime Video. I heard this is affecting even the human resources. AI seems as transformers. AI seen as transformative, enabling fast innovation, Amazon says. So a couple of points I wrote down here is that, like I said, regardless if you think this is due to AI or not, the cuts are definitely coming in the midst of a lot of AI advancements. But they're not the only company doing this, right? UPS recently just cut 40,000 workers. And that's not it either. I mean, we can see cuts across the board in a lot of sectors, not just the technology sector. I thought this was very interesting. A quote from the president of Nvidia kind of summed this whole thing up really nicely. He said, if you lose your job and you think it's the AI, you're not losing your job to AI, and no one's going to lose their job to AI. People are going to lose their job to people who are using AI effectively. So I thought that was a very interesting take on this whole thing. And I don't know if I agree on that. I do think that we should be using AI like a tool. And that's one of the things I was going to talk about later in the show, but we can bring that up now. And this is one of the things I really think is interesting. Because we could be using AI like a calculator, right? There was another story I read. I didn't put on the docket here, but another story I read talked about how one of the major institutions. I think this is someone at Harvard. One of the professors at Harvard was like, um, he felt like students could get 20 dissertations done in the time that it takes one if they're using AI correctly. He feels like that's where it's going. And he also feels like the timeline for getting your education is going to change as well because of the adoption of AI and how much quicker people can learn in multiple different ways. And that's one of the beautiful parts about what this gentleman was talking about, was that he was saying that AI is going to allow people to learn in a myriad of different ways. And I think that, when you can learn in different ways, and that's kind of expected, and AI is going to facilitate that transition to people being able to learn how they want to learn, instead of just being this static direction and static course and static way of learning and static way of testing your ability to learn. There'll be more dynamic ways of testing people's ability to learn and dynamic ways of presenting information. I thought that was very interesting, and that's the future he saw us living in, where education is going to be on a way shorter timeline. Like, you not taking, 12 years to get through your education, your K through 12 education. They're cutting that down to half that time, right? I could see that happening. I could definitely see that happening. So I think all of these things are pretty interesting and pretty cool. Dr. Rocks, Mitchell says, Mitchell is right. That's the C-suite mindset to reduce headcount. Because of that, they're losing jobs to AI. Mitchell says C-suites are using AI as an excuse to do the layoffs they're already wanting to do. Okay, I can see that. I can see that. Like I said, no matter how you feel about it, no matter whether you believe it's AI or not, those layoffs are definitely happening, and it's terrible regardless, no matter how you cut and slice it. But I do think there's some merit to the comment being made that you're not going to lose your job to AI. You're going to use your job to another human that's using AI effectively. I think there's definitely some merit in that as well. All right. But another thing I thought about this was that in the same vein of decreasing the time that it takes to get an education because of AI, I thought, in that same vein, we could be using AI like calculators, right? Whereas, people think, oh, AI is going to take over your jobs, and people are you can't trust students to use AI in classes and things like that. I think that the same thing was being said for calculators, right? Like, you can't take calculators into a test. Well, at the higher levels of math and science, you have to take a calculator into the test. You know what I mean? There is no not using a calculator for the test, and just for your education in general when you're in classes and such, because it's not a lot of times when you get to those higher levels of education, it's not about, can you do long division, or, can you solve this equation. It's your analytical abilities to understand the question and understand the problem, and then come up with a solution to satisfying that problem, right? It's not, who wants to sit there, how to do long division. Why would you want to sit there for 5 or 10 minutes doing that when a calculator can do that calculation for you instantly, right? And move you along to the harder parts of that equation that the calculator won't be able to help you in, like, analytically, right? So that's kind of like what I'm thinking about the calculator. And I think that people are going to use AI like calculators. I think our fear of AI being used in certain ways now will dissipate over time as it gets better, and as people start using it as a tool to augment their abilities instead of replacing their abilities, right? All right, moving on. We got to Amazon already. Nvidia. So let's get to Nvidia. Chip maker Nvidia on track to become first $5 trillion company. I thought this was interesting. Apple has been long known as the world's most profitable company, but Nvidia is killing it. And you can thank the same conversation we were just talking about. Speaking about the president of Nvidia and the comment that we were just talking about in the previous story. I just think that this makes sense. One of the biggest chip maker for AI components is the biggest company in the world, and is on track to become the first $5 trillion company. Yeah, it makes total sense for this kind of transformative technology. They're the biggest player other than OpenAI right now. And even if OpenAI were to crash as a company, you can guarantee that Nvidia is going to be okay with selling the chips to another AI company who needs chips and data. You know what I'm saying? It's not going, like we were talking about the other day with the railroad tracks and the railroad companies. Some of the railroad companies went bust, but the railroad tracks themselves remain super valuable. Yeah, I think this is going to be the same thing in that. But yeah, this makes total sense to me. Nvidia is on track to become the first $5 trillion company just 3 months after the Silicon Valley chipmaker was first to break through the $4 trillion barrier. The ravenous appetite for Nvidia chips is the main reason for the company's stock price has increased so rapidly since early 2023. On Wednesday, the shares touched $207.80 on pre-market trading, with 24.3 billion shares outstanding, putting its market cap at $5.05 trillion. On Tuesday, Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang disclosed 500 billion in chip orders. The company also announced a partnership with Uber and Robotaxi as a $1 billion investment in Nokia, with two others planning to work together on 6G technology. So Nvidia and Nokia has a partnership in the making. So again, like I just said, the companies that are using these chips could go bust tomorrow, but Nvidia is going to be okay because someone's going to need these chips for AI. AI ain't going nowhere, in my opinion. And I think that's it for the tech news. I mean, calculator used to be a job, so it kind of did. I mean, calculator used to be a job, so it kind of did. Well, did calculators replace jobs? Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that, Mitch. I'll take that. But I was meaning more along the lines of use AI like we do calculators, and not as a replacement for the calculators, but give the calculators a tool to do their job more efficiently so they can do it faster. Did that result in some calculators being laid off? Probably. I don't know. I have to do some research on that, Mitch. It sounds reasonable, right? But I don't know. I have to do some research on that to see if calculators actually were the end of some people's jobs. Because now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if that's true. It sounds reasonable, but I don't know if that actually is how it played out. Because you're still going to need people to run those calculators, right? And who better to run the calculators than people that already know the calculations? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Duroc says ex-accountants, payable is pure back office FX that C-suite loves to cut. AI used to read scanned invoices to increase throughput and reduce AP headcount. Remaining AP left to fix inevitable read errors. Another case where I guess efficiency. You know what? I guess I don't think it's the tool that's causing the breakdown. I think it's the efficiency that causes the breakdown. Because if a certain tool comes along, it doesn't matter what the tool is that comes along that allows you to do your job quicker. Say it takes you 8 hours to do your job. A tool comes along that allows you to do your job in 2 hours. Now you can do it in one day, which you would take a week. Why would you keep the same amount of people on at that point, right? It makes no sense. Efficiency is what kills. I don't think the specific tool does. Efficiency is the real killer here, I think. AI can run the calculators now. Yeah. Assuming AI improves, AP not even needed to fix errors and shrink the department to none. Yeah, there you go. Well, you know what? Efficiency. Maybe AI is killing jobs, right? I definitely don't think AI should. It's efficiency. Efficiency is what's killing, because it doesn't matter what the tool is. The internet made things more efficient. Computers made things more efficient. AI is making things more efficient, right? Efficiency is what kills. All right, let's go on to the eInk topics. We're gonna get that transition right, Jet. We're gonna get that transition right. Don't worry about it. Next week, hopefully, we'll have that transition transparent A transparent transition. All right, let's go on to the eInk topic. So we got a lot of well, not a lot. We got a few reviews out. For at least 2 that I know of that I like. We got one from Jeff, and we got one from Dave over at Tablet Tech. So I have both of those linked in today's show notes. So if you look in the description of the show, you will see the links for those videos there if you want to check those out. But the Note Air 4C, Note Air 5C, I'm sorry. The Note Air 5C. Couple of takes I got from these videos. First of all, did you guys see any one of these videos here? And you have any comments on it? Did you see a video somewhere else that I'm not talking about that you thought was interesting, or that they highlighted something interesting? You let me know. My take on the Note Air 5C is that it's the Note Air 4C with pogo pens. I mean, I would say the writing surface is different, but different don't mean better, right? The pogo pens are new, so it's inherently better. I'd rather a keyboard with pogo pens than Bluetooth. It's just going to be a better experience. Now, the writing surface is the only thing that was big, that new, other than the pogo pens to me. And who cares? We'll get to Jeff's video, and Jeff was like, it's squeaky, and you can hear the squeakiness. The feel wasn't any better. They found a cheaper way to do that. That's what they did. They found a cheaper way to do the film, and they were like, they'll never. Okay, let me stop. Dr. Ling says new Supernote beta update came out. Ooh, when? Today or last night? We'll probably check that out on tomorrow's show. The Supernote update. I'll throw that in tomorrow's shoe. That should be interesting. But I don't think there's anything like that's big and new here with the Note Air 5C. Dave's video showed that it wasn't as quick as the Tab XC, and though the Tab XC does have a faster SoC, I can't wait to somebody compare this thing to the Note Air 4C. If I have to, I will. I don't want to be the dude that do that. I don't want to buy this thing just to compare it to the Note Air 4C. I will buy it, but you know what though? I probably could compare the Note Air 4C and to the Scribe, and it would be a fair adjustment or assessment. Although in Jeff's video, we got Jeff's video here. Ooh, we got Jeff's video here. In Jeff's video, he did point out the fact that Jeff did point. There we go. Jeff did point out the fact that the screen. Or was that Dave? I think no, the screen was brighter in the Note Air 5C than the 4C. That was Jeff. So Jeff did point out the screen was brighter in the 5C. So that means the front light, not brighter in background, right? But the front light in the Note Air 5C is brighter. That makes a difference. Right, so that would make a difference in how I perceive the display. So maybe I do have to pull the trigger on the 5C. I can't wait for an epic 5C Kindle Scribe Color Soft I can't wait. I really can't. It's gonna be epic, and I'm looking forward to it. Anybody here have any idea or any critiques on the 5C or the 4C? On anything they've seen from any one of the reviews. Dr. Ling says, whereas Supernote and Remarkable are into truly going for future proofing, but I could, let's go to the previous one. What's the lifespan on an Android version? I hear that new Android equal future proof, but there always seem to be new versions. Well, no, I mean, I think this is the third Note Air that has a new Android version. I could be wrong about that, but I think this is Android 15. The 4 was 14. The 3 might have been 13. So I think they're bumping up the Android versions here. Yeah, I mean, the lifespan of a Note Air device is about a year. They seem to update them about every year. But I mean, you could get extended use out of these things. You wouldn't have to upgrade. Like right now, is there a reason to upgrade from the Note Air 4C to the 5C right now? I don't think so. If you have the 4C and you're not like a reviewer or anybody like that, you're just using the device, I think you're good to go on with this upgrade to the 5C. From the 3C to the 4C, there was reason to upgrade. There was a new backplane technology being used. Also a brighter front light, right? The design the design wasn't slightly different. Yeah, they did move the design a little bit because they didn't have that orange stripe in the front like they did, I think, on the 3. It looks cleaner in the front. So a couple of design changes. But going from the Note Air 4C to the 5C is a bit, that's a harder sell in my opinion. Just based off what I see here. And I'm looking forward to Jeff's subsequent videos because he's going to go deep into these features and specs on the particular device. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he has to say about it. So definitely go subscribe if you haven't subscribed to Jeff Moss. I'm looking forward to what he has to say. I think I would only get this if he notices that the screen is significantly better than the 4C, because I would want to compare the Scribe ColorSoft to the best that Onyx has to offer for the color on their Kaleido devices. So, they're note-taking devices. I wouldn't do a tab device just because that's not really a note-taking because of the screen. The film on the screen isn't there, and that's the biggest drawback for me. I want that to be there. What else we got here? I think I already asked the question: is the Note Air 5C worth upgrading for? For me, it would be a hard no if I wasn't reviewing things. How do you guys feel though? Would this be something you would upgrade to if you had the Note Air 4C? For people who have the 3C, this is a no-brainer, and you want to upgrade. Yeah, this is a definite buy right here. If I've got the Note Air 3C, but if I've got the Note Air 4C, I don't know. Dr. Ling says, where is Supernote and Remarkable? I think we went over that already. Another thing we didn't talk about with the spine on the Note Air 5C versus new Kindle is that spine house speakers. Kindle has no speakers. There are speakers in the Note Air 5C, and those speakers, I think they are in the spine. They actually are in the spine. They wouldn't necessarily have to be there. The iPad has speakers and it doesn't have a spine. It just has bezels. I don't think none of the Kindles have ever had this. I could be wrong, but I don't think they need that. And also that's something that they could add to the device later as an upgrade for a future device. So that doesn't really move me, the fact that it doesn't have speakers or a microphone if I'm just using it for note taking. You know what I mean? The speakers wouldn't. I mean. Honestly, the speakers in the devices are trash anyway. You wouldn't want to play anything on them. Like you wouldn't even want to listen to dictation back on those. They're terrible. If you're going to record something, use your phone. Also, Boox still making trash pens, says Dr. Ling. Absolutely. The pens here, like we see this, and the pens are still trash. No button, no eraser. It comes with a clip and a texture. And wait, and did I mention the magnets? Did I mention the magnets on these things? Just when you thought Onyx couldn't make it more trash, they made the magnets on the pen weaker. They made the magnets in the pen weaker. I'm like, how? Like, it's already weaker. Like, why would you make them even weaker? So yeah, it fits even worse on the device. It's still a cylindrical piece of trash. They just added a clip to it that's not even there. I think you can remove the clip. Is the clip removable? If I heard that correct? I don't know. I'm looking for more information on Note Air 5C before I pull the trigger on it. If someone says the screen is better, someone I trust, their opinion says the screen is better, then I'll pull the trigger on the 5C. If not, I'm just comparing the Scribe to the 4C. For real. I mean, they seem like the same screen. I mean, the brighter front light, okay. But if the colors aren't better, if the Kaleido hasn't improved any, I don't really care about the brightness of the front light. Because guess what? I don't use the front light ever. I mean, if I'm in a dark location, maybe. Like, it has to be dark, though, to where I can't see. I'm usually in areas that I can light the area up to see. So I'm not concerned about that. That doesn't concern me. What do we got here? For sure, the new pen seems somehow dumber than the landfill trash. Why put a clip on the end that detaches with a weak Mac? That's just, yeah. Like, why would you do that? Palm, I have no idea. The older Boox pen could also store nibs if you unscrew the cap. Pretty janky storage, but I guess the newer one is a bit more elegant in that regard. I didn't know the ones could store pens in the cap. That's interesting. The Rock, I think the Scribes can still connect Bluetooth headphones. Yeah. Bluetooth, yeah, it doesn't have its own speaker and mic, and I'd argue that the Bluetooth is a better solution, a way more elegant solution if you need that. I'm sure Voya hasn't done a 5C review. He's probably doing it now. Voya's probably doing that now. Supernote update only on my Nomad, not my Manta. Good to know, Mr. Mike. Appreciate that. Aaron, how's it going? Let's get a shout out to let's get everyone's going for the chat crew today. I appreciate you guys. Last thing I wanted to bring up here, and we'll get to we'll get to what Reddit has to say. About the Nomad update and the Note Air 5C. Ooh. Manta frame at 6 months of use. Oh wow, that's impressive. Okay, we're gonna get to that. Okay, so are Stylii getting longer? I noticed in the Discord we had a where we at here? We have a lot of good information in the Discord. Listen, if you're not in the Rants About Tech Discord and you like eInk devices, you should be. You should be. How many people we got in here right now? 13 people? 13 people, if any of you are not in the Discord, we got the link in the description of this show right here. Join the Discord. Super good information in there. Anyway, one of the bits of information I like is Mitchell. Thank you again for that, putting the link in there for the remarkable I'm going to go ahead and put that in the show right now. For the remarkable change in their 100-day policy there. What else we got here? I'm trying to find this. Oh, where is it? Oh, I didn't do it. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I'm trying to find this particular post that had, there we go. Here we go. Okay. So the pen is longer. This is the pen on the right here is the, ooh, can I change this? I can. Bam. So the pen on the right here is the new Note Air 5C or pen that you get with the Note Air 5C. It's longer than the other two Boox pens here, which now that I'm thinking about it, that could be attributed to the fact that they got the nibs in the body of the pen now. Okay, that might be why it's longer. I was going to make the correlation between a lot of other manufacturers making their pens longer, and why is this happening? Like, why are they making the pens longer? I think some of them are too long as it is, and if the elongation gate, yeah, this is a gate. I thought elongation gate was happening where it was making the pens longer, and for what reason? I could see this pen being longer because of the mechanism in the middle where it holds the nibs. Maybe that's the reason. But Viwoods pen is longer. Who else made a longer pen? One other company that I just saw recently came out with a pen that was super duper long. I can't remember the name of the maker. But like I said, I thought that because I saw this right here. But now upon second thought, I'm like, maybe there's no gate going on. Maybe there's no gate. Maybe that's just longer because of the nibs. Also got word from Supernote that they replaced my Manta because I complained about how easily the plastic stains. Wow. Well, if that catches your fancy, look at this thing. Oh, whoa. Okay, that wasn't. Oh, oh boy, where is it at? Okay, there we go. Look at this one. Yeah, like that's polishing to the 3rd degree. I don't know how that would even happen right there. Super interesting stuff though. Mine just turned red on the back. It's like this reddish color. I don't know where the red comes from because I never have red on my hands doing anything. But yeah, my Manta's a little reddish, but that's about it. I'm okay with that. I got something in the works for that. Got my update on the Manta. Okay, so the Manta and the Nomad have been updating, and you might get them at different times, just so you know. Bluetooth is just a barrier to usage. The Amazon certainly wants to upsell as many audiobooks as possible. Ooh, okay. Well, there you go. Well, and also, right, I mean, why add it to the device and add money to it when? Well, I mean, it could stay. You can keep it from being thicker. The sound would be horrible no matter what, unless you go Apple level of a speaker and acoustics. Then they do a crazy good job with the iPads. Most people do not do that kind of or pay that kind of close attention to acoustics when they're putting speakers in little bitty devices. They just accept the fact that it's little and it's going to sound like crap. So yeah. Anyone have recommendation for keeping the Manta clean? I bought a felt sleeve cover for this, but I worry it won't help. I don't have a way to keep it clean. I never put my device in anything though, so maybe someone's been using a material that works for them. Supernote hardware is not premium. Software is, but not hardware. Aaron, listen. All right, Aaron, is that your hot take after seeing the discoloration in the white plastic? I should have known Aaron was going to come behind with some. Oh yeah, it confirms my opinion. It's trash. No, I think they do a good job with the hardware. I think the design that goes into the hardware is really good. The materials aren't premium by any sense, but the mechanical nature of the latches, I mean, they could have implemented that a little better. I ain't gonna hold you. Magnets would have been so much better. Dr. Link says I agree with Aaron. Listen, I'm not gonna take no Supernote disrespect here today. Okay, if we're disrespecting anybody, it's Onyx. But I think I've gone on record as saying, you know, who I think makes the most premium eInk device. I will call the Supernote package premium. Would I call the materials they use to make it premium? No, but the package is premium. You know what I'm saying? You throw this across the parking lot, it's going to survive it. You can't say it about too many devices. Their hardware could be much better if it didn't turn random colors. Yeah. Yeah. You're right. Plus, Supernote are lacking in hardware power. They don't need it. They don't need the hardware power. They're like, who cares? Who needs the hardware power? Ooh. Ooh, how did that happen? Oh, there we go. Okay, so let's look at see what Reddit has on the chopping block for us. Why does Reddit have nothing on the chopping block for us? I saw a Note Air 5C review someone put up. Oh, I wanted to look at it so bad. Why did I not click on it? Oh, I should have clicked on it when I had the opportunity. All right, but we can still look at this. Satisfaction guarantee changed from 100 days to 50 days. Yeah. I'm considering buying a Remarkable Pro and have seen the 100-day satisfaction guarantee mentioned several times. However, when I visit their website, it only says 50-day satisfaction guarantee. So, chat, 100 days was always a long time. Over 3 months with a device, if you don't know in a month whether you want it or not, to me, that's long enough. I ain't going to hold you. 100 days to me always seemed excessive. I don't know how they did it. Like, honestly, I don't know how they did it. Like, you need honestly, who has taken Remarkable up on their 3-month thing and took 3 months to make that decision? I want to know. Anybody here? It took you 3 months to make your mind up on the Remarkable, and you took the whole 100 days. I'm like in a month, 2 months at the most, right? Sure, but they didn't change it if people weren't turning devices. I consider this a signal that device return rates have increased. Oh, yeah. I mean, so I say this. We could say that, right? That is a logical course of action, right? That's a logical chain of thought. The decrease in the return rates, they must be getting more returns. That could be a factor, but to me, that just says that they're trying to like. That just. I mean, I don't know. That always seemed excessive. I've always thought that. Remarkable 100 is greater than 50-day guarantee. We have always been at war with Oceania. Remarkable 100-day. Oh, wait. Whoa. Okay, hold on. Okay. My bad. So they're not saying you get 50 days with it. Oh, no, there's yeah, they're saying the same thing. 50-day guarantee. You get 50 days with the device. If you don't like it, you return. Okay, cool. Looks like they're reducing the new benefits that they have in comparison to other brands. Weird movement they are doing. 50 days is still a good period. Absolutely. That's a month and a half. Which is, no one's doing that. I just bought my move without realizing this. I'm pretty sure I know within 50 days, but this is still very disappointing. Yeah, you're gonna know within 50 days. Like honestly, chat. And if we're being totally honest here, I know this is a pod, but if we're not podding and we're being totally honest here, who would feel like I need 100 days to figure out if I need this thing or not, if I like it? Who really? Who and also on the flip side, who here feels like 50 days would not be long enough to decide whether you need the device or not? I'm interested. I want to know. That would be super interesting. Tariffs is always tariffs. Tariffs are responsible for color changing hardware. They're responsible for remarkable guarantee, everything. Agreed. Mr. Mike, you hit the nail on the head. Sure, but they wouldn't change it if people weren't returning. Yeah, good point. 50 days is plenty, says Mitchell. But sneakily making it worse. Yeah. Not like they should have sent that out at the very least to people who had just bought Remarkables, right? Who are still within that 50-day window. Unless they're going to honor that for people who bought it after a certain time. But not having it everywhere is kind of sus. You're right, Mitchell, for sure. 50 days is long enough for the decide, but I do question why change it, says Aaron. Yep. Dr. Ling, tariffs. I mean, it could be a lot of things, but who knows? What do we got here? Do we got anything? We got anything good on? I saw the Supernote. My bad, you guys. I saw the Supernote update too. Why it isn't showing me that now? I'm a little upset. I'm a little upset. But we'll talk about the update tomorrow. We'll definitely talk about the update tomorrow because that'll I'll have a chance to look over it and like make my informed opinion on, or give my informed opinion on that. I just like a blog post saying it's like a blog post saying just due to changing market conditions, blah blah. Yeah. Oh, so they do have a blog post, but it's not like, have they changed the website? Have they? Let's see if they changed the website at all. I don't think. I mean, there's no mention of it here. Connect subscription. Huh. Okay. All products, maybe. You would think they would put it here on the features of the device, right? I'm not sure if they ever had it here, but I don't see any mention of it here. That's interesting. Oh, let's put something in the cart. Let's put in the. Oh, whoop. Do we see something here? Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, they changed the marketing on the site at least. We got the try for 50 days risk-free right here. Well, at least they changed it on the site. Yeah, I mean, it is suspicious. It is suspicious. I won't hold you. It is suspicious, but I mean, it's one of those things to where, I honestly think that was just excessive. I wonder if people returning the Move more than the other tablets. Ooh, interesting question, Aaron. The Google Index still has the old copy, but when you click it, it says 50 days. Okay. Yeah, there's sites on there. Sosa Ribeiro, or would you say Sosa? How's it going, Sosa? Thanks for coming. Nose, neck, lungs, stomach, heart. Oh my. Okay. We know who this is. We know who you are, L. L, you're here again. Why, L? Why are you back trolling? All right, everybody. That's going to be the show for today. I really appreciate you guys for being here, for the chat crew that came. We got Aaron. We got Mitchell. We got Mr. Mike. We got The Rock. Do we have Hav here? I think we have Hav here. And we got Dr. Ling. And if I missed anybody, I apologize. I'll get you the next time. Rants About Tech, Monday through Friday. 10 a.m. to kind of whenever. Talk about tech news, talk about eInk news. We talk about all kinds of stuff, just life stuff throughout the day as well. Like if you like, subscribe if you want to see more. Join the Discord if you want to continue any of these conversations we had here today after the live is done. Link in the description. You can click on there and join the Discord. Also, ways to support the show are down there as well. Web site and other merch there that you can check out. What else we got going on? Crystal Nibs. I got a little update. I'm going to send out a newsletter. If you aren't subscribed to the newsletter on the website, you should be. I'm going to send out a newsletter this week talking about the date that the crystal nibs are going to be coming in and how we're going to sell them and stuff like that. So all the information is coming hopefully by the end of this week. If not, definitely next week. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. Everyone, I hope you have a really good rest of your day. And thanks for coming up. See you tomorrow. Until then, take care, everybody.